There are thoughts many women carry quietly, ideas about desire that rarely get spoken out loud, not because they're shameful, not because they're extreme, but because for generations women have been taught that wanting too much or wanting differently should stay hidden. That silence has created confusion, distance, and missed connection in countless relationships. Today we're lifting that curtain, not to shock, but to understand. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 4 of the most common fantasies women report having, yet almost never openly discuss. By the end, you won't just know what those fantasies are, you'll understand why they exist and what they reveal about female desire on a deeper psychological level. I'm Marcus, your men's health and relationship guide. Stay with me, because the third one surprises most men, and it's far more common than they expect. If you want insight into what genuinely fuels attraction, not cultural myths, not surface-level advice, but what actually happens in the mind, make sure you're subscribed. This is about understanding, not manipulation. Let's begin. When people talk about fantasy, many immediately feel uncomfortable. There's fear of judgment, fear of misunderstanding, and a long-standing belief, especially for women, that expressing desire openly is risky. But research consistently shows that women's inner worlds are often more imaginative and emotionally layered than they're given credit for. Studies in sexual psychology suggest that female arousal is highly context-driven. It responds not just to visuals, but to emotion, meaning, atmosphere, and imagination. Once you understand that, desire stops feeling mysterious. It starts to look like a language, one shaped by safety, novelty, and emotional depth. So what themes appear most often? First, the idea of intimacy with someone unfamiliar. Large-scale surveys have found that a significant number of women imagine scenarios involving someone they don't know well. The setting is often spontaneous, a brief encounter, a moment outside routine. This isn't about betrayal, it's about novelty. Newness activates the brain's reward system. An unfamiliar presence represents possibility, a different voice, a different energy, a different dynamic. In fantasy, this becomes a safe way to explore excitement without real-world consequences. As relationship researchers often note, desire thrives on contrast, not necessarily new partners, but new experiences. For men, this insight matters. Attraction isn't sparked by perfection or pressure. It's sparked by presence, confidence, curiosity, and emotional ease create space. When a woman feels relaxed and seen rather than evaluated, her playful side naturally emerges. Connection grows when attention feels light, not heavy. The second major theme is power dynamics. Many women report imagining scenarios involving shifts in control, sometimes surrendering it, sometimes holding it. This isn't about harm or humiliation, it's about trust. For women who carry responsibility all day, the idea of letting go can feel deeply freeing. For others, taking the lead feels energizing and affirming. In both cases, these fantasies center on emotional intensity and safety. True surrender only exists where trust does. This is something many men misunderstand. When a woman imagines letting go of control, she isn't imagining weakness, she's imagining feeling secure enough to relax completely. That level of trust is profound, and it's often a reflection of emotional safety, not physical dominance. The third theme, often the most surprising, is curiosity about shared experiences. A notable number of women report imagining scenarios that involve more than 2 people. The details vary widely, but the underlying psychology is consistent. Novelty, attention, and imagination. It's important to say this clearly. Fantasy does not equal intent. Imagining something doesn't mean wanting it to happen. The brain often explores ideas symbolically. Variety triggers dopamine. The imagination enjoys possibility. That doesn't translate into real-world desire or dissatisfaction. This is where many relationships get stuck, by confusing thoughts with actions. Fantasy is often about how something feels, not what someone wants to do. The fourth common theme involves environments that feel spontaneous or unconventional. Some women imagine moments that break routine, settings that feel unexpected or slightly risky. Psychologically, this is linked to heightened awareness. A small sense of unpredictability increases adrenaline, which can amplify emotional intensity. This isn't about being seen, it's about stepping outside habit. The same mechanism that makes adventure exciting can show up in imagination. It's the thrill of novelty, not danger itself. When you look at these themes together, a pattern emerges. These fantasies aren't really about specific scenarios. They're about deeper needs: freedom, safety, excitement, connection, and trust. And here's the most important part. Talking about desire doesn't damage relationships, it often strengthens them. Research shows that couples who can discuss fantasies with openness tend to report higher intimacy and better communication, not because they act everything out, but because trust deepens. Still, many women hesitate to share. Cultural conditioning has long sent the message that desire should be hidden. The result is often emotional distance, not because love is gone, but because honesty feels unsafe. It's possible to be composed in public and passionate in private. Those qualities don't cancel each other out. They coexist when trust is present. If these conversations ever happen, they don't need to be intense or dramatic. They can be gentle, curious, even playful. The goal isn't to shock, it's to understand. Listening without judgment is often more powerful than any response. One final insight most people miss: fantasy doesn't signal dissatisfaction. In fact, people in secure, loving relationships often report richer, imaginative lives. Why? Because safety allows the mind to explore. Fantasy isn't a replacement for intimacy, it's a companion to it. Desire evolves over time. What someone imagines at one stage of life won't necessarily stay the same forever. Growth, confidence, healing, and experience all shape it. Expecting desire to stay static is one of the fastest ways to lose it. Emotional safety is one of the strongest forms of attraction there is. When someone feels they won't be judged or punished for honesty, desire opens naturally. Freedom is magnetic, and openness doesn't mean obligation. Some thoughts are meant to remain private. Privacy and intimacy can coexist. What matters is knowing that honesty could be welcomed. That permission alone changes everything. So here's the takeaway. Desire doesn't need to be controlled. It needs to be understood. Fantasy isn't a threat to connection. Silence is. When desire has space to breathe, it brings people closer rather than pulling them apart. If this shifted how you think about female desire, subscribe, leave a comment, and share which insight surprised you most. I read every one. Thanks for watching.